Hey Fandom's me, Aaron, for a comic show. I'm talking new comics now. We got some all new Marvel now, some DC, some great Image books, and let's just get it underway. All new Invaders #1. This is a book that, you know, what's weird when it was announced, is it really necessary? We've had so many different Invaders, but this is like those characters where they are exactly now. Not time tossed, not any kind of like old story, nothing weird like that. It's Namor, Cap, Winter Soldier, Bucky, and the original Human Torch. And it's James Robinson, who I've loved from Starman. He's one of my favorite writers. When he's on, and he's so good at characterization and world building. And I like when he chooses one character to be kind of like the main character on a team, or one character like Jack Knight for Opal. And Steve Pugh is on art. He's the Animal Man artist that I loved from back in the day, in the Vertigo days. And what I liked about this Invaders #1 is, yes, the whole issue was the original Human Torch, who is easily the least popular character of this team. I mean, the whole issue is him. And, you know, like, the other characters don't appear to the very, very end of this first issue, but there's just something about a self-loathing robot that I just love. I just love a robot just full with, like, more regret and self-doubt than I am. You know, that's just awesome. And I really liked the first issue. I thought it was fun, and I'm excited about where it's going. Robinson is the type of guy that builds a world, builds all kinds of stuff through different old continuity and different characters. He dredged up an old Golden Age character in here for a very particular reason. He has Norse gods, he has the Kree, and it's he's able to do stuff here in the Marvel Universe because there isn't a reboot that he can't really do anymore in the DC Universe. He's not writing for DC anymore, but he couldn't do a Starman in the rebooted New 52 DC Universe. When he did the Shade Mini, you know, they let him use a character or two from, you know, the past, like, oh, you can use Vigilante, he's just like a cowboy on a motorcycle, whatever. But he couldn't actually use any Golden Age characters because they don't exist anymore. So I like to see him do what he does best. And now it's with Marvel, so maybe he'll have a second career there with Marvel's All New Invaders and Fantastic Four. But I like the issue. All New X-Men, it has a big #1, but it's not #1. It's number 22 point now, which is actually number 22. It's the trial of Jean Grey, and this is that team of the time-tossed. They're out in space with Kitty and X-23, and the Shi'ar want to put Jean Grey on trial for what the Phoenix did when she hadn't done it yet, and all that weirdness, weird different, I don't know, time travel, space, sci-fi ethics. And the Guardians come a little too late, as they are, you know, obviously a second-rate team that's moving to the big screen. And I just love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Rock Raccoon, and I like that those two books are going together. And it makes sense. The X-Men have always had a bit of a sci-fi and space travel tinge to them, and I'm excited to see Bendis' two books there go together. Moving on to Black Widow. This is a copy of #1. Diamond shorted me all my issues of #2. I'm getting them emergency replaced, but lucky for me, I've already read it. I read it on the Marvel retailer site, so thank you, Marvel, for that. I read it digitally, and I'm enjoying this book. I'm enjoying that she's trying to balance the karma, those things that were in the movie, the Avengers movie, where she's like, oh, my past and my regrets, and Loki was all clowning her and whatnot, and I like this. This is what she does when she's not an Avenger, and she's trying to balance the scales, but she has to get her hands dirty. It's all the lesser two evils. It's all, we're slowly discovering who she is as she's putting the scales of, you know, justice back in line, and I like it. I like Nathan Edmondson, I like Phil Noto on art, and it has that kind of feel of a Hawkeye book, where this is what Hawkeye does when he's not in the Avengers, and he's kind of a damaged character that, you know, on the Avengers, he's doing all these great things with those other characters, but in his own book, he's kind of a failure and he kind of sucks. And Black Widow makes so many mistakes in this issue too that she has to count them, you know, count her mistakes one by one by one, and I enjoyed it. Moving on to Avengers 25, this is where this becomes all new now, and well, I guess 24 point now was it, but you can see there's this time-tossed Avengers team, the original Avengers team. Yes, it feels like a copy of the all-new X-Men with Bendis, but knowing Hickman, he could have had this planned in his charts and graphs, you know, his 5-year plan out before Bendis even came up with that. But it's different, it's a different take, and it was pretty fun, and there's a lot of mystery around it. Avengers World, this is the secondary Avengers book. Instead of Avengers coming out twice a month, it'll come out once a month, and this will come out once a month. It's Hickman and Spencer. It's a integral part of the Avengers universe, and this is that character smasher that I like a lot. So it was a fun issue, and you guys know I love Nick Spencer. So moving on to Origin 2, this book is weird. First issue was weird. It was all like bears and wolves, and you know, he's the Wolverine, but it's like bears and wolves and in the snow, and now it's people hunting Wolverine Logan in the snow, and Creed's here, and it I like the art, I like the writing, I like what's going on, but it's not like super wowing me. The first Origin was pretty cool. This one is just all right for me so far, but I'm digging it. I love the creative team, and you know, it is what it is. I'm interested in what other people's opinions are on it, actually, because I'm not, you know, jumping up and down about it, but it is on the top of my stack to read, and I am super curious, and I realize it's only 2 issues in, and it has to follow up something that was kind of like a forced upon us instant classic of here's Wolverine's origin, whether you want it or not, whether you liked him as the character that didn't know his past and we don't know his past. And then House of M, he knew his past, but we as the reader still didn't know, and now we know. So I always kind of didn't really want to know, but now we know, and knowing is half the battle, I guess. So, you know, fun. Here's something really, really weird. Hawkeye, I don't know if this is totally unprecedented, but issue 16 came out before issue 15. That's so weird. And, you know, it's because it was done. They're doing different creative teams, and they're following different characters, Kate and Clint. And this is the continuation of Kate, which was already done and ready to go. Why they didn't call this 15, why they kept the 16, I think it has to do with whether it would be returnable. If it said 15 and it had 16's, you know, story inside, then retailers could return it all, strip cover for their money back. But having said that, it's fun. I love the book. It's one of my favorite books. I like Kate getting the spotlight, so I super enjoyed it. So it's just kind of an oddity. What? 16 came out 15? It's gonna like really confuse a lot of fans and a lot of retailers, and they're gonna be special orders all over for issue 15 as people are like, oh, I didn't get 15 yet. Put in an order for 15, and then if you're not paying attention to Bleeding Cool, you don't know that 16 actually came out first. So there's that. Having said all of that, that's all just nuance and caveat. The issue's good. The series is good. Everything's good about Hawkeye. I love it. Empire of the Dead. It's the Empire State is New York. It's, you know, New York of the Dead. It's George Romero and Alex Maleev on art, and it's this zombie epic for Marvel. No, it's not set in the Marvel universe. No, there's not superheroes. It's New York City. But it is, you know, supernatural. Obviously, there's zombies, and I feel, you know, it's a supernatural zombie thing, which I'm speculating. I'm not spoiling. And I really liked it. It's a mature reader, and it's kind of like, I would say, their answer to Walking Dead. You know, how long are they going to let Kirkman just run his mouth about how terrible they are before they put something out to directly compete with The Walking Dead? So if you like zombies and you want to see zombies with just real-world people fighting zombies, it's for you, but as I'm saying, it's tinged with the supernatural where The Walking Dead is not. Moving on to DC, we got another Batman. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, the best team of the New 52 from the beginning, you know, 28 issues ago when you count in the Zero issue, I guess 29 issues ago when you count in one of the Riddler issue for the villains, and they're still going strong. It's great stuff. It's the Dark City, it's that Year Zero stuff still. I have to admit, I'm more excited about what they have planned for the future and current Batman stuff, the weekly, all that stuff, but I'm super digging this, and I like that it's adding a lot of nuance to the Commissioner Gordon Batman, Commissioner Gordon Bruce Wayne relationship. I'm really digging that. And, you know, we're seeing the origin of Riddler in this, so that's great. Moving on to Forever Evil Justice League. Jeff Johns is really reinvigorated here. This is just great. His Justice League in Forever Evil has been better than all the Justice League issues before that. Just he's through with the sadistic origins where he's given the origins of all the crime syndicate. And this just starts in the middle of things with the Doom Patrol. There's a Doom Patrol. You know, it was alluded to in some other issues. There's a Doom Patrol, and they suck. Doom Patrol always sucks. Their origin always starts with everyone dead, right? They're the Doom Patrol. It says they're doomed in their name. So that was fun to me, and I liked that. I've loved Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol. I have a soft spot for, you know, the Chief and Robot Man and all that, and it's in here. And there's Cyborg with Cyborg 2.0. He gets a new body. It's all been in the solicitations. There's a Red Room, like the Black Room. The Red Room is all like robots, I guess, because of Red Tornado. So there's the Red Room, the Black Room's magic, and it's fun. And we know the Metal Men are coming. That's seated in here, and it was just a really cool issue. I like what Jeff Johns is doing, and this shows me this is what the New 52's promise was from the beginning. It wasn't just continuing, and some stuff is still the same as the old continuity, and other stuff isn't, and some could still happen, other stuff didn't happen. It's let's do some awesome new ideas, where he recreated Plastic Man in the previous issues, as opposed to the Plastic Man we saw in Justice League International #1, New 52. That's cool. New Doom Patrol is cool. New Metal Men's cool. I'm down. Let's go. Let's do this. Really enjoying that. And I'm super psyched for Ted Kord in Forever Evil 7, you know, Blue Beetle, hopefully. So that's going to be fun. Harley Quinn #2's out. The Zero issue was just crazy nuts. The first issue, you know, they stopped so much with the breaking the fourth wall. She still talks to a dead, burnt beaver. That's weird. And this issue had a lot of animals, which the internet will love. And it also had Poison Ivy, which the two of them go together, in my opinion, better than her and Joker. They're a fun couple. DC's should have like this A-list lesbian couple of Poison Ivy and Harley. And no, that doesn't happen in this issue. Yes, they share a bed together, but, you know, I don't know what happens off panel or between panels. I'm not lying in the gutters myself. But it's a fun issue. I like the tone they're setting for this book, and it's getting an audience, getting a following. Issue 1 sold out and got a second printing. We still have a bunch of them because I ordered it heavy. Because, I mean, if I can't sell a Harley Quinn #1 just as good this week as I can next year, I'm not doing something right. And finally, I'm just going to put it out there because I'm wearing the Supergirl shirt. We have this issue of Supergirl out. Tony Bedard's writing it now. He started an issue ago with Lobo in it. And yeah, it's the handsome Lobo. And yeah, I don't really care much about the handsome Lobo, but I am reading Supergirl now. I love Tony Bedard, and I love that they're going to make her a Red Lantern. And it's going to be like Red Daughter and like the same font as Red Sun. And Charles Soule is doing Red Lanterns. And there's going to be this huge Green Lantern, Red Lanterns 28 coming out for the week of 2814, February 8th, 2014, which is the sector of space that's now Guy Gardner's for the Red Lanterns. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a double-sized issue for the same price as a single-size issue. It's a $3 issue that is both Green Lantern 28 and Red Lantern 28. It's a two-part crossover, all within the staples of one book for the same price as one book. And if you're local here to Orlando or want to come to Orlando, we'll have Charles Soule here to sign them all, and it'll be a lot of fun. So there's that. I just thought I'd mention that because, you know, I'm actually super excited about it. You know, I'm Guy Gardner's biggest fan. Moving on to Image, this is awesome. Deadly Class by Rick Remender. I've loved Rick Remender since his beginnings with, you know, crazy stuff that he doesn't really talk about anymore, like Captain Dingleberry and, you know, that stuff that I really shouldn't go into. But Deadly Class is, it's his creator-owned stuff of drawing a lot on his life experience of being such an outcast in the late 80s. It's set in 1987. It's the type of book that would have been published by Vertigo if it came out in 1997, and now it's Image. And Rick Remender really kicked ass on here. And he wants to stress that this is not a world with anything supernatural, any spaceships, any greater technology. It's a regular 1987 Earth with these kids that are kind of losers with no future, like he absolutely was until he was able to write comics, like, you know, I was until somehow I lucked into a comic book store, and them killing. It's just killing, and I super dig it. So give it a shot. I know that Image has put out a lot of great stuff, and it's the class of 87. 87's on the cover, and there's no supernatural anything in it. There's not even like cell phones or emails. So, you know, enjoy it. It's fun. You know, turn off your cell phone and read Deadly Class, and you'll get a picture of what it was like to be Rick Remender back in the day with no friends, just wanting to kill everyone. And of course, he couldn't kill everyone because that's illegal, but he certainly wanted to, and now he's living that out in this comic, and that's wonderful. Moving on to Walking Dead All Out War 120. So much happens in this issue. It's crazy. I'm so grateful that it's coming out every 2 weeks now because I don't want to wait more than 2 weeks to find out who is alive and who is dead with all these crazy injuries, wounds, walking wounded instead of walking dead. Like, there's so much going on, so many plates spinning, and yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything with that issue other than more crazy stuff happens, and I'm happy that it's coming out every 2 weeks. Moving on to Zero. my signing after Charles Soule is going to be Les Cott and Trad Moore. It's April 14th. And Zero, I love this book. Every issue is a single issue story. Every issue has a different artist that's perfectly picked for the tone of that story. And this issue starts syncing up with what the framing sequence was for the first issue, where there's a young kid killing, or ready to kill, shoot in the back of the head, our main protagonist here. And so it syncs up with that. And then we find out what happened to our guy after the first issue. And then at the end, we find out what this world is. What is the big deal that it's, 2038? What's the scope of this series? What did Zero do? What was Zero involved in that's so ridiculous? And by the final pages of this, you will know, and it is awesome. So thank you very much, Les Cott, for doing this. It's a great book. And finally, just for shits and giggles, I enjoyed it. It's X-Files Conspiracy. It's part 2 of X-Files Conspiracy, but it's a one-shot with Ghostbusters. And the lone gunmen go to the Ghostbusters firehouse and start tangling with some ghosts, trying to figure out this overarching issue that started with the first issue that Mulder and Scully are after. And they're following these leads. And the leads involve them going there and then actively interacting with all of the Ghostbusters and Slimer. And it was a whole lot of fun. So if you like Ghostbusters and X-Files and you don't get this, you hate yourself. Because it's a single issue. That's all you got to get. And you would enjoy yourself. So there's that. So, do with that what you will. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe, share, like, comment, all that good stuff. And keep an eye out for my best of last year video where I cover my favorite things of last year. It's entirely subjective, but I do explain myself, and you might agree with me. And if you're local, we have trivia on Tuesday, karaoke on Friday this week, kind of lighten up from last week's craziness. And hope you come by and have fun. Thanks. Bye-bye.